Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills, this is Brock Shimano. Today is Tuesday the 22nd, and we had soybeans selling off pretty sharply here again today. Corn and wheat were able to hang in there, with corn trading up 7 3/4 cents, wheat trading up 4 3/4, and soybeans trading down 19. Brock, today soybeans selling off here. What was the reason behind that?
You know, I think there's a couple of different factors pushing soybeans lower here today. One was talk of China possibly selling some of their state reserves into the market. That was pressuring soybeans early on. We also saw some rumors today of more U.S. imports of soybeans. Some of the cargoes that were originally sold from Brazil going to China have now been redirected back to the United States, to the EU, and to Mexico. So a couple of those factors are really pressuring the market, and it comes on the heels of really sharp selling yesterday as well. So that's something we're going to have to continue to watch as we move forward. If we do see confirmation of these rumors that we saw today, China selling from the reserves or for imports coming here to the United States. You know, the fact of the matter remains, Cody, that the trend line that we've been watching here recently is still intact as far as the technicals are concerned.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the technicals, because we've talked to some of our customers here, and they were mentioning that, you know, it looks as though we're starting a little bit of a downtrend. The last 3 days we've closed lower than where we've opened. But the thing that I want producers and traders across to understand and keep in mind here is that the overall trend that really started here at the end of January is still very much intact. And I think that this trend line, along with that 20-day moving average, that trend line and the 20-day moving average sitting right together, right around that 1454 price level, I think that area will offer up some support. So if we end up trading down again tomorrow, look for some support around that 1454 level. I don't necessarily think you want to start getting short down there. So just keep an eye on this thing. Once that trend line, if it is broken, I think that we would start to see some of the fundamentals and some of the technicals getting a little bit more bearish. You know, especially here talking about soybeans being imported into the U.S. and some of China beans being diverted to the U.S. Those are both stories here that I think are going to put a little bit of bear pressure on this market. But just be cautious right around that 1454 level. Brock, what's going on in corn?
You know, corn, we have a similar story shaping up there as well. We do have that long-term trend line that we've been following here for the last couple of months or so. Today we actually did retest that level right around 490, and we actually bounced off it. So this just kind of reaffirms that, you know, we do have these slight downturns in the market here recently, but we do still have these longer-term bear trends intact. You know, soybeans, we could likely test that support line that you were talking about, but corn we actually did test and we did bounce off it. So that's going to continue to be an area to watch right around 490. You know, something that we did get a little bit of support in the corn market today was crop progress was a little bit further behind than what the analysts were expecting, and we have a weather event shaping up at the end of the week that could slow up the progress again in Thursday into Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And so really, you know, where soybeans is still yet to test this trend line, this uptrend line, corn was able to test it, and it seems like we got a little bit of a bounce. So just be wary, once again, like what I was saying, be wary with soybeans, because if we do get around that area, we might see a bit of a bounce. Wheat here, let's take a look at wheat. You'll notice that we do have a 200-day moving average, that's the blue line. We have a 50-day moving average, that's the red line. And you'll notice that all these areas, all these lines are really kind of converging in one spot. We also have a Fibonacci retracement here, 38% Fibonacci retracement, all right around the same area. I think that's going to continue to provide support. One thing we got to keep mindful of is that what's driving the wheat market right now is the dryness in the plains and the situation in Ukraine. We haven't heard a whole lot about the situation in Ukraine. There is concern here as they're in planting about how easy it will be for them to finance that planting and whether or not they'll be able to get as much production this year as they did last year. So there is a little uncertainty there, and of course the plains continue to be dry. Keep an eye out for any change in those two stories, and if we break through those support levels that are all kind of right next to each other, you know, I think that would be very, very bearish. However, I think right now that those support levels should maintain price levels for wheat around this area if there's no major changes in the stories going forward.
So some key technical areas to watch going forward on corn, soybeans, and wheat. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, make sure you give us a call, 877-472-4607. If you want to try out charting on our platforms for yourself, head over to our website, grainhedge.com, and take a free, no obligation trial of our trading platforms we have available.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow.